Okay, to do a little better job than I've done, what I'm going to recommend you do is take a little more time in sanding between coats. I've got a little bit of orange peel that I haven't sanded out. There's a little bit of orange peel in this area and a few areas up in here that I didn't completely sand out. I've been fighting, what was this, Hurricane Ida that come through. We're in North Carolina, so we've just been getting a little bit of rain, not much, nothing bad. Right here where I'm at. But you can actually have your finish look just like it's glass if you take the time to color sand, water sand, and work your grits down to finer and finer grit. There's some water up on the hood up here. I've already covered that area, so I'm trying not to go back up into that area. I actually stopped my buffer from moving and burned a spot on the paint. So I'll come back later on and I'll touch that burn spot up. But I want you, the viewer, to be able to see. If you can hear me over this thing, I wanted you, the viewer, to be able to see what it looks like as it comes out. And this is a low speed that you need to keep the buffer at. Mine's trying to take off and go too fast. That's another problem you'll run into if you don't have a really good buffer control, because it will burn into it. And it probably wouldn't have hurt if I would have waited just maybe another day before I threw the buffer to it. But it's been 24 hours, and I know if I leave these laying around here in the boatyard, that I'm going to wind up regretting it. Trying to get in these little grooves. Now, running the sanding paper up through this, 2,000 grit, 1,500, 2,000, and then buffing it, it came out pretty good. You can see, I hope you can see my reflection in that. Let me see if you can or not. So there we go. There's a little reflection. A lot better than it used to be. And I'll get in here and see if I can show you the few little spots that still got the orange peel to it. And what I think I'll do is I'm going to come back in here later on. I'm so far behind schedule right now from the accident, the mechanical issues I'm having with this truck, the rear end crush sleeve and all that I'm so far behind schedule. I've got a couple of boats that I've got to go work on for some customers, and I've got a few here at my house that I need to work on to get rid of them to keep the money coming in. But this is the finish that I'm going to leave it with. Now I'm going to put a coat of wax over this. I'm going to buff out some more. You can see where I actually did a burn mark or two here and there. I'll water sand those out later on in the season. And what I'll do is once I've water sand them out, I'll add some more color and a little more clear, because you can touch up a spot and it'll be fine with lacquer. And then it'll be moving on, because this is going to be a work truck. I want it to look a little better than it has been looking in the past, but there again, it is a work truck. Now I'm just going to put a couple little spots of this. This is mirror glaze, medium, compound, and knock it out. And what I like to do is get it all spread around and then work it in. Keep that buffer moving. Don't let it pause for a single second, because when you pause or you go over a spot too many times, you will burn the lacquer. And just like sanding, whenever you run your buffer, go in several different directions, paying attention to which way the wheel itself is actually cutting. So if you're running it, then this is giving you a straight line cut this way. If you're on your angle like this, your cut lines will be here, kind of rounded. Then you come around here and keep it on the same angle, and your cut lines will go down. And you can go to finer and finer and finer polish until you just really can't even see your polish marks. And I will do that when I complete this, but as for now, what I'm aiming for is just to get this thing put together so that my body panels are not laying around out in the boat yard to be bumped into by any kind of boat movement. And I'm just wiping it down with a damp cloth, a microfiber right now. And then I'll come along. Right behind that, I'll rinse it off. I'll come along, let it dry for a few minutes. And then I'll put a coat of wax on it, but I don't want to do that in direct sunlight. We got a little bit of overcast, not much. So I'm gonna try to get it between the clouds of covering the sun and not. See if I can get it done for us. I'd like for you to see it. Try to wipe off the water droplets before I hit it with the wax. I've waxed the hood from here back, so I'll wax it from here down. Well, actually I came down to here, but I did a little buffing, and that takes your wax off. Not sure how that looks. Carnauba wax. Find you a good carnauba wax and get it on, rub it in. As soon as it starts to haze, microfiber, take it off. Here's the sun going to come back out at 100%. Probably going to screw me up. I got it out from under the trees. It's September the 1st. 2021. Keep track of me with Hurricane Ida just passed through here at North Carolina where I'm at. Prayers going out to those down in the Gulf that really had the problems. Okay, she's just starting to haze over. I'm not going to let it go to a complete powdery haze. And I'm going to get it off of here. And that'll actually fill in and hide some of the scratching that you had from the buffer. Give you a little more reflection. Then I'll go. Now this microfiber is slightly damp because the sun is out. I want to be able to get as much off of it as I possibly can. And then to keep it from having a white haze, I go over it with a bone dry microfiber. And then when I'm done, I'll throw them on the ground, get them nice and tilty. No, I'm kidding. That was totally accidental. Hopefully I don't have a piece of grit in this. But as I'm standing here looking over it, I see parts that I want to improve on. I've got something looks like a hell dent right here that's still got a little orange peel in it, about the size of my thumbnail. I've got a little bit of orange peel over in here, here, and here. And that'll be something I address out of season whenever I'm not so far behind booked. I've got so much going on right now with the boat season. I've got the sailing club that I'm needing to be back over there working on it. I got to get done with the sailing club so I can get my scaffolding back over to the boat yard. I've got a boat promised for sale, and it's kind of hard to sell it unless I finish it. There we go. We got a coat of wax on her. That's what she looks like. Let me know what you think. Then we'll put the other fender on there that my father painted and see how it looks. That's the hood. Bone dry and waxed.